Well, now it's time to loot with an non-stop day. It's safe to say we'll have some fun today on Geek World Radio.
Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Geek World Radio of 2013. So 2012 was a great year. We saw some fantastic cosplay at the different events we went to. So we decided that for the first show of 2013, we would take a look back at some of the really popular cosplay of 2012.
It's true, anime. Not all the cosplay is Doctor Who and Star Trek.
It's true.
There's a lot of great stuff out there, and let's talk about the top 3 that we saw this year in 2012. Okay, what's number 1, anime?
Number 1, The Avengers. So it's not just looking at Marvel. You know, there's always a lot of DC, a lot of Marvel. But this year, I've never seen so many Black Widows and Thors and Captain Americas.
Yeah, I would say in particular Captain America and Black Widow. Captain America was a big one, and I think that, you know, cosplay girls, they like to dress up in, like, cool, sexy things, and Black Widow was definitely one of the coolest, sexiest characters of the year.
Now, there weren't as many Hulks that we saw, but, you know, I think a lot of people just don't want to run around, you know, wearing green paint and...
there were a few.
There were a few
really big ones,
You know, and obviously you can wear the, you know, the green muscle suit and stuff, but I think people were sticking more to Captain America and Thor, things like that.
Yeah, and Tony Stark, a few Hawkeyes. Yeah, definitely, it ran the gamut. Pretty much every Avenger.
There's definitely some Nick Furies.
Definitely, yes. Definitely some Nick Furies.
Yeah. Obviously, any big movies of the year are going to have a lot of cosplay. But the Avengers definitely had a significant amount more.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely probably the biggest thing of the year, comic book related, at the different conventions and cosplay.
So usually we come out of a convention season with a new anime to watch because everyone is dressed in some anime that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, there's almost always Naruto, you know, Soul Eater. There's a ton of anime out there, and everyone's always dressed as it.
But this year we found that there was a lot less of what we're used to seeing. There was less Naruto, less Dragon Ball, less just of all of the typical animes we're used to. What did we see in place of that, Dave?
Well, I gotta say, probably the biggest thing we saw this year was the beginning of the new cosplay movement, which is Adventure Time.
Yeah, Adventure Time was huge this year. Not only for the main characters of, like, Finn and Jake, but also of characters who only showed up in one episode. Fiona and Cake and the other alt-universe people.
There's a lot of the Ice King.
And Gunter.
I mean, it's just crazy anime.
There was Princess Bubblegum, there was Flame Princess, there was Lady Rainicorn. I mean, Marceline. There was also, like I said, there were those from the alt universe with Fiona and Cake and Prince Gumball. You know, I mean, it was absolutely crazy, just the amount of Adventure Time cosplay that we saw. And the great thing was, people were coming in groups.
Yeah.
You know, like there were huge groups of Adventure Time kids together.
You know, I gotta say, anime, that really, this was the Doctor Who of 2012. 2011 was nothing but Doctor Who cosplay, and there's still a ton in 2012, but Adventure Time really wasn't. So, what time is it?
So now for the last one.
What could it be?
It's Batman. Now, between Dark Knight Rises and the Arkham City game, there was a ton of Batman cosplay. You got Batman, you got Robin. There was a lot more Catwoman and Bane than we've ever seen before.
Bane.
You always have to do it. You put the mask on and you have to start doing it,
Yes, the mask. I become someone new. Batman! Batman!
Yeah. Batman cosplay. That's what we're talking about.
Now I'll do my Bruce Wayne voice. There has been a lot from the movie, but also just a ton of Batman in general. It is a resurgence. Catwoman, Poison Ivy, the Penguin, the Joker.
I think we were both surprised at how much Robin there was, but it makes sense with how cool he is in things like in Young Justice and like Teen Titans and how awesome he is in the Arkham games.
Yeah, overall, I gotta say, Batman was huge in cosplay this year. When Gotham is in ashes, then you have my permission to know.
Doctor says I need a backiotomy. I'm gonna retire. My leg hurts. This is how I talk. Like Dark Man. I have no lips.
okay, those were the 3 main cosplay trends of 2012. And I'm sure a lot of them will follow through to 2013 anime.
Yeah.
But since it is a new year, we've predicted who we think are going to be some of the big costumes of 2013.
Okay, first off, Lara Croft. Now, this has always been a pretty popular costume, you know, especially for people with a certain body type. They've really, there's been a lot of that in the past. But with the new Lara Croft game coming out, and her costume being slightly more conservative, it's going to give a lot more girls the opportunity to play as one of the greatest heroines in video gaming history.
I don't like it, anime. What's with all the pants?
Well, you know, as she gets better, because she's falling down a lot, as she
true.
gets better in future games, she'll realize, well, I'm awesome now, I can wear shorts.
That's true. She would have, like, you know, gotten, like, blood poisoning if she wore
Yeah.
like, short shorts in the first time out. Good point, anime. Yeah, you know, I gotta say, this is one of those great costumes that isn't that hard to do, and we've already seen 1 or 2, and I think we're definitely going to see a lot in 2013.
Plus, we know from this year that people love carrying around bows and arrows.
Exactly.
I mean, there was definitely some Hunger Games. There was even a Lara Croft from the new game that we saw this year. There was Green Arrows, there was Hawkeyes. Oh, and Merida from Brave.
And Merida from Brave, yeah.
There were tons of people carrying around bows and arrows.
It's so true, anime. So the next one we're going to do for 2013 to go along with this same one is Arrow. I think, you know, Arrow is a hit show for the CW, obviously based on the Green Arrow. We have seen a bunch of Green Arrow over the last few years.
Yeah, including ones that are based off of the Smallville outfit.
Exactly, which I think is what started the resurgence in the first place of the character. But I think because the new show is so big, we're going to see a lot more Green Arrows. Not necessarily the one from TV, but definitely just a lot more Green Arrows.
Because archery rules.
Exactly.
Next up, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Now, you know, there's always Star Trek at every convention that we go to. But with the new movie coming out and with the amount that people have been talking about it, plus it being the 25th anniversary of Next Generation happening still, and, like, you know, all the DVDs still coming out, I think that Star Trek is going to still be... It's going to be huge.
Definitely.
There's going to be a ton more than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, definitely because of Into Darkness. There's going to be a lot more. There's going to be a bunch of Benedict Cumberbatches running around. And, you know, and who knows what other villains or other type of, you know, bad guys or even good guys, what they'll look like. So I definitely think that we will see a bunch, especially towards more midsummer after the movie came out.
Absolutely. Okay, so next up is one that I'm pretty sure is going to be huge in 2013, and that's Superman. Now, we know that all of the comic book ones, as the movies come out, the costumes become incredibly popular. Superman, though that spandex suit can be a little intimidating, there are different ways to do it. We've seen Clark Kent's with, like, you know, the Superman underneath, you know. We've seen, with his unshaven look, you know,
exactly.
You could go with Fisherman Superman.
The Deadliest Catch Superman. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. For the guys out there who don't like to shave and have, like, dirty clothes that they use to work at the fishery, they can totally be like, hey, I'm Superman. Get over it.
Wet teenager in a blue shirt, you know? Like, just get out of the shower, put on a blue shirt and jeans and go.
I'm kid in the closet holding my ears.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's true. There could be a plethora of that. And not only that, you know, Lois Lane, we'll get to see more Lois Lanes. You know, Zod and the Kryptonians, especially like kind of how we saw Michael Shannon in the trailer.
Right.
It's got sort of a Gears of War look. So I think there's going to be, because people love to address as Gears of War and Halo and stuff, so there could be a lot of Kryptonian cosplay too.
And just because Superman will be popular, we'll be seeing just a lot of general Superman stuff. You'll be seeing more Lex Luthors and other bad guys of the Superman universe.
Exactly.
So before we go, we want to share with you some of our favorite photos of cosplay from 2012. So here it is. Well, that's it for this episode of Geek World Radio. Hope you guys have a great 2013. We'll be back with you every week on Wednesday with another episode of the show. And don't forget, you can tune into our radio show every week on Indie 100 and The Point. Plus, you can get in touch with us by sending us an email to geekworldradio@yahoo.com and checking out our website at geekworldradio.com. So for this new year, live long and prosper.
And bow ties are cool.
Well, Now it's time to loot with an non-stop day. It's safe to say we'll have some fun today on Geek World Radio.